All right, friends. Probably should be filming another video here. We've got plenty of stuff to work on that belong to other people. We've got plenty of stuff to work on that belongs to ourselves. We've got stuff we can be putting away. We really should be doing that. We've got calves that like to keep jumping over this fence and taking it out of the holder. But that's not our big thing that we're going to worry about today. I'll tell you about what that is right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, Ross the Oliver Man. We'll put this plow out there somewhere, out of sight, out of mind, you know, but at least it's safe. It's not getting cut up for scrap. Today we're taking the delivery of more treasures. Our good old pal Craig from Ohio is playing trucker once again, and he's bringing us some treasures, which he is responsible for because he sent me the messages on both of these, and then I said, well, yeah, go ahead and get them. So hopefully he will be here shortly. He's trying out a different pickup that he got in some trade, and they made it partway here and then had a problem, but I think they got her going again. So he should be here any time, really, and then we'll see. He's got 2 tractors on the trailer that I bought, and hopefully, I don't know, hopefully I don't have buyer's remorse. The one of them runs and drives, but every time I look at the pictures it looks worse than it did when I first saw it, but that's okay. And then the other one is a non-runner, but it was cheap enough that I couldn't pass it up. So I will bring you back whenever he gets here. I think he's bringing somebody with him, I don't know, and we'll just see how that goes. Hopefully it'll be simple. According to the picture he sent, it looks like the one that runs is on the back, so maybe we can use the one that runs to pull off the one that don't. I don't know. And if that doesn't work, we got other things here we can use. So we will see what happens. The field of failure is getting pretty full though, so we're gonna have to make room. I can't hardly talk without coughing or something. I don't know what's wrong with me. Death is setting in, I guess. That's fine. Dad came and borrowed my little Heston mower because his grenaded, and I said, well, you could have just used this gray one and we could take the pieces off and make 1 out of 2 for now, but we never got that far. The only reason I'm not using this gray one is because I wanted to go through it first before we ever did anything, and of course that never has happened, and I'm just taking it all in, friends. I guess this must have been laying out here or on it or something, and when he pulled away it's now not on there. That's fine. Crappy old moving blanket, but they are good for some stuff, so I hate to just burn it when I might be able to lay in it and get lice. There's a spider. I think I'm gonna burn it now. Anyway, we'll burn it, or we will recycle it. That's what I want to say. And if it should happen to get hit by lightning and burst into flames, you know, that can't be helped. I'm thinking of stuff I can be doing while I'm waiting on them, so I'm not just wasting my time. And what I'd like to do is unhook that Ford plow, and I'd like to move these other 2 plows out there as well, because you can't even see that they're here. They are all wrapped up in the stuff. Also, we should probably get back to fixing that, you know, fixing that other disc up. We never did that yet because I was waiting on buying a couple bolts, and I remember taking 1 bolt out. Oh, I've actually got more than 1 bolt out. I mean, it got 2 bolts out. I think I was missing 1, and I took 1 out because I wanted to get new ones, and then I never did act upon that. Like, I got so busy I forgot. But if I just go to town and get some new bolts, we can slap in this, tighten this all up, and then she's ready to hooked to, but it's also got other issues though. If you recall, it's got bearings out and stuff, but I don't know. We just haven't gotten time to do anything. It's just been a weird year. The winter wasn't really good for working on stuff. There's a rabbit. And I don't know. It is what it is. This needs to go out there. This very nice 508 plow. And so that one should be no problem. He did pull it here even with those rickety hoses, so don't know about that. And then the old Moline Dan plow. I don't think it doesn't have a cylinder on it, but that's okay too. A lot of times you can pick them up high enough that they'll clear without issue. I don't know. That may not be, we probably won't get to all that today. I just know how life works. Also, we should move this rickety thing out of our way. We never got to inspect it and see if it was worth scrap or what, but the front wheel bearing on the John Deere loader tractor, I noticed started making noise, so time to fix it. If you recall, I replaced hubs on it, and I bought 2 new hubs after that junkyard affair. I think I found one in the junkyard, I don't remember. But my hubs were broken off at the back, like missing a good chunk of the back, and so they wouldn't hold a seal anymore. So we put them together one more time till I could find hubs. And I got hubs, and we put hub on one side when it went bad again. Now the other side's bad, so we need to get bearings and stuff, put the other one on. I think I had all that stuff to put that on, but I don't know where it is now. Probably gonna have to buy another set, because it's just been one of those, friends, you know. I just don't remember what I did with all that stuff. So sure. But stuff is happening, friends. Stuff's happening. I got parts. Not all the parts we need, but I filmed a video clip yesterday, which I'll throw in a video about the crawler, but I got this fan assembly. It's not exactly what I wanted, but we can either modify it or come up with something else. Well, I don't know. We'll make that work. I'm waiting on the governor piece, then that would go. 1655 diesel, I started working on it. There's probably going to be a video coming out about it. But then I found more wrong with it, so it's going to be a little longer before we can get to this one. But I'd like to do that, you know. The wallet's getting thin funding all these projects, so I need to get that one done, and then I can start working on this one, and then that one will be fairly straightforward fix, I think. And then we got that one from Kentucky, which I don't know how that's gonna go, friends. That might be a rabbit hole of sadness, and I really don't know that I want to go down it, but what's a guy gonna do, you know? So yeah, it's just a matter of getting motivated to get started doing something, and I don't know if I'm quite there yet. It's kind of a peaceful day. It's still too wet, I think, to go out there and start tearing around. On this hill, I think I could probably go, but in the valleys, there's standing water yet. By the road, it's all under, it's water. I think I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. It's hard to sit here and do nothing, but I think another day of drying would be a good thing. And we'll try tomorrow and see if we can get across it, cut it open once, because I did work it up once at an angle, so I'll work it up again, kind of more of the line of travel. And then if that would let it dry out a little bit, then we can spread fertilizer, then finishing tool over it, then plant, and it'll be good. The one thing that it gained us by having done it the way we did is there were some pretty good grass clumps, especially way far by that other road where that house is. There were some chunks in there where I didn't think I'd get the grass cut up, you know, if we were going to do it in the same day, because the grass was still green and it wouldn't really chop up. Well, now it's died since it's been turned over and in the air, and now if we go over it, I think we'll chew it up pretty good. So that is one thing that actually probably helped us out. But whatever, I don't know. It's just one of those times when, what do you do, friends? I mean, the weather this year is so different. I mean, April, we had July weather, I mean, or whatever. I mean, it didn't rain for weeks and it was beautiful and whatever. And then we had torrential rains, and the river's been out 2 different times. I know some people are going to be on their 3rd replant, or 2nd replant, however you look at that. The third planting, because the river came out and took it twice. So I don't know. You know, I think that I probably was better off to wait, even though it's all going to be later stuff now. But I'll do it once, and then is what it is. So anywho, I think we'll just wait for Craig and them to get here, because they probably won't be very long. And yeah, we'll get there. Also, curiously enough, I had a lot of people reach out to me wanting to buy this Ford plow. I can't believe that. I don't know how many, is there not a lot of Ford plows around, or what's the deal, friends, you know? I'm not gonna get rid of it just yet. I wanna keep it for a while, you know, let it rust up and everything quit moving, and then I'll decide to sell it for less than I paid. That's how it goes. No, I would like to put the iron on, because like I said, he probably sent enough points along to put points on. I think he had everything it takes in that pile. He's got 1 moldboard, and I got 1 moldboard, and I think there was enough points. And then there was 2 or 3 shins in that pile, and that's probably about what it needs. It at least needs 2, maybe. That one, it's not very good either. But anyway, that's just a matter of labor, you know. One day when we got nothing to do this summer, we can pull it back under this shade tree, and we can swap the iron on it and have it ready to go. I know every year I haven't got any plowing done, even though I wanted to. This year I could have done it, but it was a scheduling problem. But that's going to change, because I can't do all these different things anymore. So I would rather just be here and play every day with my toys. So I think some of those other jobs are going to go away. But anyway, what I'm saying is this plow here wouldn't take much to go to the field. Just a point swap and a few pieces of iron here and there, some bolts, and it would be good to go. It pulled home great. All the stuff pivoted and turned like it's supposed to. The cylinder has been up this whole time. It has not leaked down a drop, and it hasn't leaked a drop at all. So I'm very much impressed by that. At the very least, what we might have to do is change out either this hose or this fitting. One of them started to leak when we were first moving the lever, but this is actually for the down side, and I want to say it was leaking right there, which would be the hose itself. So we could replace a hose. That wouldn't hurt. Probably could replace both hoses, to be honest. They aren't great. That one doesn't even have a swivel. It's got the kind that tightens up when you're done. So I don't know. This is right here, though. That's why I hate swivels, because a swivel will leak, you know. So I don't know. We'll figure that out. Not that important. It might not leak very much at all. When we put it down, we'll see how it goes. But even like this tire is still holding. So it's amazing. I mean, it sat for who knows how many years, but it came back into the into the road travel form pretty easy. I mean, our 2 new hoses are working great. I don't know if you'd have to have, I think they would work on here. I don't know. There's still enough slop in them that they could stretch a little bit, because even if your plow pivoted, if it turned, thinking about that, the time it would stretch is if the plow went that way and the tractor was going this way, like in a circle. But I think there's enough slack there that it would go. So anyway, I'm just rambling now. And I'll just wait till Craig and them get here, and I'll bring you back, and we'll unload the treasures, and then we'll do a walk around, you know, and all that, how that goes. So, sure. All right, Craig just messaged. He should be here any time, any second. Let's move this tractor out of the way so that, yeah, you know, the thing. We don't want to, we're going to need room for him to turn around. What a sweetheart, fires right up. Good enough. What do you think, Buddy the dog? As soon as he heard the camera beep, his tail started wagging. What do you think? You just enjoying some time in the shade? Yeah. It's hard work doing nothing all day, isn't it? Yep. Sure enough. Well, I hear a vehicle in the distance, so I would assume that that's him. We need to get back to our little garden tractor project. I've moved it twice now. Got a steering box maybe. Haven't heard back from the fellow who's got the grills and stuff. I got the Jacobson grill that I found, but I need the top piece, see? And then the Oliver ones had another insert that went over that to make it look checkered, you know. Here comes the load of stuff. Look at that. First time out for his new to him truck, and hauling 2 tractors, which I did not force him to do. This was his idea. I just wrote a check. Buddy the dog, come here. You don't need to be out in the middle of the driveway. Look at these treasures. What do we think of that? Well, other than the motor coming apart, is this a better ride or not?
5.4 gas.
Oh yeah, you said, because you had spark plug problems.
Yep.
Well,
watch that Oliver bank a liar out of me, but
it's been starting.
It hasn't been started forever. When it turns over, it's like Freddy.
And then fires right up.
It only turns like twice and it's running. Where you want me at?
I guess just pull up a little bit so we can work here. Look at these treasures. Yeah. A 1465 Oliver, which is a size we didn't have yet, and a 2010 John Deere tricycle, which is pretty road hard. So this one drove on the trailer, I'd say, huh?
Here's the bill of sale for the Oliver.
Oh man, he wrote out a bill of sale, huh? So what's the story, like, on this Deere? Where did it come from?
It's it. He told me it was a high school classmate that had that and the 1550, the 1655, and something else, and it was. They were all pretty
rough. Yeah.
The guy didn't take care of nothing, left everything sit outside.
I saw that 1655 on there, so interesting.
The 1550 was actually in better shape. I mean, appearance-wise than anything else, but it does have a grill. It's not a Fiat grill.
I saw that in the pictures.
Charlie Billings
grill.
Right here on the back of the truck.
Homemade.
Homemade it, and it fits in there good.
Look at that beauty.
I mean, he made it.
He made it out. Yeah, look at that. It's got rivets and everything.
It protected the radiator.
I won't hurt his feelings, but I'll probably eBay a new grill.
That's what. Oh, by the way, this is Seth.
Oh yeah.
Seth's price.
Hey.
Where he at?
He's over there. He's
And I can't never remember the name of his YouTube channel. But
I tried to look it up and I couldn't find it. So
just a guy that likes old tractors. Yeah.
Just a guy that likes old tractors. Okay. I'll have
He's got Olivers and Top Cut. I think he's got the market corner in the Top Cut 50.
Oh, really? That's cool.
What, 3 of them? Yep. And 570 diesel.
Oh, that's sweet.
40 diesel, 40 gas.
I had looked. I probably saw those videos with that Cockshut 50 and the plow. Yeah.
Oh, the one I was plowing at night and shooting a flame out.
Yeah, I remember seeing that video. And then
can't tell how much horse it is because the PTO clutch just started slipping about 75 horse. And she wanted to keep going.
There you go. Is that your co-op E5 then too?
Yep. That's
cool because you hardly ever see an E5 diesel or whatever.
Yeah.
That's it.
And, I was gonna trade that Oliver 88 diesel for a 1650 diesel, and well, he had that E5, and
There we go. So, everybody who's watching, subscribe to his channel. Just a guy who likes old tractors. That's what it's called. So, I saw your video with the dash. It looked like he's already custom gauged it and different stuff.
It does not have a key. It's got a battery disconnect that you shut on and off. That's your battery, and then a toggle switch
For the starter?
or what?
Oh, yeah, we'll have to. We'll have to figure all that out and unconfunculate it.
Here.
Oh, I see we got 3 switches sticking out.
There's a
battery disconnect.
turn that on. This is your. He said to give it about 230.
Yeah, that's where the other one is too. Yeah, it does start just like Freddy.
And then if you idle it too much, it does.
It's the same motor like what's in. Yeah, I think they're 7 speeds actually. Runs pretty smooth. It runs pretty good. I mean, oh, that's because I leaned on the.
Once it warms up.
Well, he did do one thing good I was worried about. I thought he cut up that dash, but he used the actual holes that were there, so I could put that back pretty easy.
I don't know what's up with that. That's not bad.
Yeah, he must have put in a different tank. I noticed that in the pictures, because that was what threw me there. Yeah, he's made him something. I wonder if that's the same as the 1365 tank, because I've got one of them extra. It might be a little bit wider.
He thought it was in here and they rebuilt all this. He had a dealer rebuild it. But somewhere down in here it leaked, that I had to put a bucket under it now.
It might be where that line goes in.
Now the drive's moving. It works. When I first started up, the 3-point come up. But now it's like the coil.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that. I said, how you shut it off? He said, idle it up.
Yeah, the little foot pedal on the other one, if you just take your foot, pull back, it kills it.
And that does work too, because I went to hit the brake at the house and I left some spin marks in the driveway where I hit that brake and the fuel at the same time. And
Yeah,
this is pretty custom.
yeah, I saw that in the picture too. It works, but it breaks my brain, and it needs to be like about, I don't know. I'll figure it out. It's just, the more I looked at it. See, what I think on that other one, yeah, on the other one, what I had to do is I found a piece of exhaust stuff from like Summit Racing or something that was a complete 180 bend, and then sawed off half of it and slid it over there and welded it on the tractor, and then it came up about the right.
I don't know if that hood would come off, because this latch does work, but it don't have a latch here, so I put this in, because I didn't want to get here.
I actually have another
Hood
one of these panels for one of these.
Yeah, I did want to do a hood delete on
Yeah, on the way home. It's interesting because it's like a cross between between Freddy and the 1365s. Boy, that doesn't fit in there, right, does it? Huh. Custom fuel cell. That I don't know about. Like I said, the more I look at it, it's a little bit rougher, but hey, I got it cheap enough that we can tinker with it, and you can't just find these everywhere. I bid on one the other day on an auction, and it brought almost $5,000, and so I could buy 3 of these for that, you know? So I figure I'm doing all right in the grand scheme of things. It must have the amplitorque as well. This should be high and low, I believe. It's just an updated Freddy, basically. Just needs a little bit of loving. I'm confused at the hood though. The hood prop has nowhere to go. Because I wondered a minute ago if he didn't have this backwards, which is very possible. I had to look at pictures. I think he might have this backwards. It might be that this panel's supposed to be over there and that's supposed to be over here, which would put that where this hole would prop the hood open. So that seems very, very possible. Very possible. But yeah, custom. Same motor basically as Freddy. They changed the starter to a bolt style instead of that slide-in style, but it's basically the same starter. Custom fuel outlet. Interesting stuff. We'll have to see if these are the same sheet metal pieces as the others. I think he's got, oh, what's that?
part of the breather.
Oh, for this?
Yeah, I think he might have
customized that as well.
customized that too, but I didn't want it falling out of there on the way over here. So.
Yeah, he's welded a bunch of. That's.
This is my phone.
Yeah, somebody's. Yeah. Well, so you had to do some truck repair on the way, huh?
Yep. We just crossed into Kentucky and it started making noise like at first sounded like a donut gasket, and then I was like, nah, probably just blue spark plug. We linked it into Orion, got tools, and luckily the spark plug was just loose and we tightened it back up, and away we came.
There you go.
Here's you some more treasures, Ralph.
More treasure. You know what? Yesterday, I could have really used those. I had to rob some off of something else. What's this?
They messed up when I ordered these, and they said I got 2 of them and I got 2 of these, so I figured you now have.
Thread gauge. Pretty cool.
They were the cat's meow.
Oh, this is one of those camera things,
Yeah.
huh?
And they actually work, because I got one, use it, and it works great. And somehow, I've got like 10 of these.
What's that? Oh, it's like a kit that's got
Golf cords and caps and the tools, and then this is, they sent me
Tire.
2 of these.
Where'd you order that stuff from?
Timu, it's all Chinesium.
Yeah, I've ordered from them before.
But see, I ordered it and paid for one thing, and then they called or emailed me and said that you get 8 free gifts, and I did that. And then you've now got a credit of this much, so you get to pick from this. And before I know it, for every day for 2 weeks, FedEx and UPS was
delivering your stuff.
And I bought one thing. I bought one of these cameras. And I bought a bigger ultrasonic cleaner. I got a big one now.
Yeah,
instead of them 2 little ones.
Yeah, see, whenever I bought it, they didn't have a big one yet, and then after that they came out with it, and I think I had to get one because you can get like a whole head in that one I saw.
Yeah, the one I got is huge now, but the other ones, the 2 I got, are about
That like what I have, yeah.
And if I cook a carburetor, the way I do it, I usually put the top half in one and the bottom half in the other.
Oh, there you go.
Run them both. But yeah, I couldn't get your sickle mower because
that's okay.
there was a incident yesterday with, that's why this truck's here, because the Chevy, I went up and used it to go up and get the auger. I put the little loader tractor on here, and coming back, somebody slammed on the brakes. Everybody slammed on the brakes on 71 south and running about 70 mile an hour, and I slammed on the brakes. The front left tire locked up, and then the rotor broke.
Ooh. All right. Camera got too hot, but we're going to turn it back on to do some sketchy stuff here. So we're going to see if let's put it over. We'll put the camera over here on the crawler. And the paramedics will be able to piece this accident together better from the far away angle.
I'm going to have to make a set for it.
Deal. Nobody died, and the ramp didn't fall off. That's amazing. But I guess we moved the trailer backwards while we were doing that, so it kept shoving the ramp into the trailer. So, all right, friends, let's take a look at our treasures that we got a little more in depth. I had to go get a drink because I couldn't hardly keep talking. Well, dealer's choice. What do we want to start with? Craig always brings stuff that he finds. So he got some injection lines and a pump there, which is funny because last night I had to have some injection lines. I robbed out of my stash of stuff for that 1655 we're working on. Got a set of dual spacers and a whole bunch of Temu tools. He said he ordered some stuff from Temu, and he said he ordered one thing, and he said then they kept sending him stuff, and they kept sending him duplicates. So here we have some kind of scope camera. Somebody else has sent me one of those before. We need to try to use sometime. We got some tire valve core patch kits and bars and a thread gauge or something. He said it was like whenever he ordered one for himself, they'd send two or something. He said he ordered one thing one time for like $13, and they keep sending him for like 2 weeks. They kept sending him stuff. So whatever, pass the love on. I'm cool with that. Let's start with this treasure. I don't know, friends, what makes a guy want something like that. Well, cheap, that's what it was. I've always liked the look of these. A 2010 with these flat top fenders, narrow front, and the adjustable row crop axles, and they're not all equipped that way. And I don't know, he sent a picture of this the other day and said, you know, this is for sale if you want it. And I said, yeah, I mean, the price was right. It looks like total garbage, but the front rims are good, so there's something. It's got the Roll-O-Matic on it, just like the 2 cylinders had. We might try out our camera on here because I see it's got no spark plugs in it. So, you know, we'll check it out. It's not hurting anything. I got my money's worth in probably front rims, and then it's got wheel weights on it. A bug just flew in my mouth, so that's cool. It's a pretty rough little horse. Stuff isn't even lined up for some reason. I guess it's the alternator that's not lined up. I mean, we're 99.9% sure it's probably stuck, but like I said, we'll try it. The interesting thing about these, other than being regarded as the worst tractor that John Deere ever made, the engines, they were trying a new thing. And if I'm correct on this, and the gas one looks like it's made that way too, the sleeves are made into a plate, and it's all one piece. And when they thought, oh, when you overhaul it, it's going to save so much time. All you got to do is just drop the whole system in. So, I don't know. Is it? There's some water in there. But why are we surprised? If it casts a shadow, it can be restored, friends. Is it worth it? Probably not, but we're going to tinker with it just to see what we can do. I don't know. I just thought it was neat because it's equipped exactly like I want it. And so if I find another one, you know, maybe I can make 1 out of 2. Oh, transmission's not stuck. You know, John Deere like to have their, however this works. I don't know how it works. I've drove one before, but whatever. You don't know if you're in neutral or in gear, whatever. Throttle is stuck, but that's okay. It's a long way from running. Like I said, we might try that camera out. We might try both of them out that we got and scope in there and see what that looks like, if it's even remotely savable. We'll put some ZEP in and see if we can get it unstuck. I don't know. Like I said, that was an afterthought. The thing that started the conversation was this. They came from 2 different places, but I saw this come across Facebook, and about 15 people sent it to me, and I thought, well, whatever. I'm not looking to buy something necessarily right now. But anyway, Craig sent me the link too, and he said, hey, that's not that far from me in the grand scheme of things. And I said, well, why don't you contact the guy and tell him I'll give him this much for it. And if he takes it, that's fine. Well, he took it. So here it is. It's, like I said, when I made the deal, I thought, hey, 1465, I don't have one of those. And, you know, I want one because I don't have one. It's a little bit rougher, though, the more I look at it than what I thought in the pictures. But it runs sweet. I mean, it runs and it drives. But it needs love, you know. For example, that radiator ain't nothing to brag about, but it doesn't leak. The grill has all been homemade-ified. And so what we're going to have to do is we'll order a new grill and put on there. I'm trying to figure out if he sawed off the tabs or if these had something different. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But then, like, he's modified the air cleaner. So we'll check out the parts tractors I've got. I should have a whole nother air cleaner, but I don't know. And then it would also be interesting to know, is this sheet metal the same as the 1365, like this piece and this all back here, or is it different? I know the center's different because it's longer, but the curious thing is I actually have another one of these, so we'll probably put that in because mine's got both latches. And I think he's got it flip-flopped. I'm pretty sure the latches go on that side and the hood opens this way. And I say that because the things are not right. The hood latch hole is back there. And so we're going to check that out. Also, he's done another strange and wonderful thing. He has put in a custom fuel tank that's made of plastic. And you say, well, who cares? Well, you're right to some extent, but not really, because he's got a hole bored in the sheet metal and got the fuel tap coming out this other side. So we might see if the 1365 tank is the same as this, or if it's better than this in here. We might swap out because I've got one of those. I don't know a lot about these other than that they are basically a cross between Freddy and a 1365. Like, they did some of the updating, but it's still much different-ish in a lot of ways. I was going to look and see, does it have a tag? Yes, it does. The 6th revision of a 1450, so this is a later one anyway, or a 665, I guess. I don't know. That one is actually stamped like an Oliver tag would be, whereas, like I've said before, I have noticed that in my travels that whoever was stamping the tags on Fiats pretty well did it whatever way they wanted. Some of them would say, like this system, like Oliver used, and I've seen some before that would have just been stamped 1465 in the top box or whatever. It was like whoever was there that day did it their way. So there's that. But when you really go to looking at this basic part here and the engine, this is very much like Freddy, the 1450. They didn't change a lot of designing in that regard. Same engine, I believe, but they did change the system of hydraulic pumps. You know, like Freddy's hydraulic pumps are down under. This one uses both the aluminum ones, like on the 1365s and that. Here's your steering pump. There's your main hydraulic pump. Then they have the main hydraulic line, which I can't believe that works very good, because it's up higher. It's up higher on these than, like, your reservoir is all the rear end, and then it has to come up, and then the hydraulic pump's up, so it has to actually do a higher lift than it does on the others. The other one, it stays low till about down here. Maybe that's fine, I don't know, but there's a filter in here. Very, very similar. Like I said, when you look at it and you've seen enough of them, you realize that this is basically a cross between the two, between a 1365 and a 1450. You know, they sort of didn't want to reinvent the wheel, but they took the best of both worlds and put them together. So there's that. But the longer you look at it, the more it hurts your brain, because there's a lot of stuff that's been homemade on it, and we're going to delete on it. You know, we're going to get rid of stuff that doesn't belong, and we're going to make it our own. and we're going to figure out why the lift isn't working and the steering's not working. I think it's probably just out of oil. He said that that was working before he got here, so it's probably leaked out, because supposedly there is a hydraulic leak back here that they didn't get when they rebuilt stuff. They didn't get something right. Now it could be that this line's cracked and leaking. It could be that the O-ring on the steel lines didn't get put back right. It could be that there's a physical hole in something that's leaking. All of this, friends, we will go down the adventure to figure out what's what, you know. This, I don't like this. We will put this back to a more original-ish shape. I applaud the E for effort I give him. He solided it up where it's rigid, but I can't stand the look. And it's too far back. I'm pretty sure it should be about right here. I don't know. We'll figure that out. The whole electrical system has been modified in a lot of ways, and we got to undo that. I want it to look right up here. He's put a dash panel in, which, again, I applaud his effort. He didn't hack up the dash. He used existing holes and made a plate. But he's got a battery cut off as our power on and off, and then there's any combination of toggle switches that have to be in various positions for it to work. And then your button here, I never checked, does the horn work? No. But anyway, we will go down the road. The biggest thing is it runs and drives, and it runs pretty good. When you first start it up, it's kind of smoky and got a little bit of a miss, but it immediately comes out of that, and then it runs great after that. So if I understand the story right, the old guy said it hasn't been really used in like 3 years. So we got a lot of, you know, if we just put it to use, a lot of that might come out of it, and it might be in better shape. But we got to do a little bit of work to it. It's just, yeah, it's running drivable, but it's just, I can't stand all of the homemadeness on it, and I want to try to undo some of that and put it back to the way it was. And I happen to be one of the few people that has enough pieces on hand that can probably do that. So I see they also added a seat on top of the original seat, so we want to try to put that back to the way that it should be. And what that's going to entail is you can go online and buy this whole seat assembly and just put her back on that way. Like I said, they've done some clever-ish things. I mean, in their own way. I figured there was maybe flying creatures in there. Well, there's a wrench in there, so we got something, some valve cores, and I don't know, stuff and things. What else? Well, I'm just looking her over, friends. I haven't seen it either. This is the first time I've seen it. So I wonder if the power takeoff shield on these would be different. Now on Freddie, the 1450, it took a unique one because it had a casting that came out that was round, and then it slides over that and clamps. This one has a bolt pattern around, but I don't think that the regular Fiat PTO shields will fit that. I don't know. I've got 2 of them on my front porch. I could probably try and see, but I don't think they will. So we'll have to figure that out. But it's no priority, friends. It's here. Now it's safe, you know. We can tinker with this sometime when we have time, which is going to be a long time from now, because right now I am so busy that it's ridiculous. So anyway, I'm trying to keep stuff moving where there is always going to be something new and exciting for you on this channel to watch. And so when projects come along that I know I want, I don't have a problem with trying to acquire them now, and then whenever we got time, we'll work on it, you know, because both of these are going to be kind of a handful of work. That one's going to probably be impossible, but we may do a quick video on that one just to try out that borescope camera and see if we can see what we can see, and then maybe put some ZEP in it and see if we could break it loose if it's remotely salvageable, just to you know, see if it's worth pursuing or if it's worth just dragging it out and saving it for some other time when we have, you know what I'm saying, when we get another tractor that we could maybe rob the front end or whatever we got to do, or, you know, maybe we'll, I don't know how much interchangeability there is, but, you know, maybe if a guy found a wide front end one or a utility or something, maybe I could take the front end and the back axles and bull gears out and just swap one for the other and make it a tricycle. I don't know. Whatever. But like I said, both of these things you just don't see every day. Like, it's hard to find when you're looking for them. And so when this one came along, I was definitely on board with this, especially since the guy took my offer. Although my offer would have been lower if I had really taken the time to glance at it closer, because there's a lot of stuff that's just not quite what I prefer, but I'm still glad it's here. It runs good. If it's getting impossible to find engine parts for these, so if it's running and cosmetics, that's simple. We can figure that out. But the engine running and stuff is the most important thing on that. And then likewise this, you don't see these every day equipped like this, and it was so cheap that I said, fine, drag it over here. I don't know, you just don't see, a lot of times you'll see them narrow front, but they will have non-adjustable back axles. So I don't know what the thinking was, like why people bought what they bought, but this is what you would have found here. If you came down here and somebody would have bought one of these new, you would have 99% chance they would have ordered it with adjustable axles and whatever. And at the time, narrow front end was still the thing. So I don't know. Like I said, content for you mainly, not really a big priority. We got plenty other stuff to do that's closer to working and running, and that's how I kind of go through my projects. If it's something simple that we can do to get it in circulation where we can keep using it for stuff, then we'll go ahead and tackle it. But if it's going to take a lot of work, then it's just on the back burner, you know. And if something else new comes along that won't take much work, then it gets pushed to the head of the line and we go that way. Or whatever thing the parts show up for first, you know. Sometimes finding the parts takes a long time. So it took me 13 years, I think, to get the 1365 put together, to find the right combination of stuff to make it happen. So there is no timeline on a lot of these projects. It's just whatever works out to having the best deal. So anyway, hopefully this is interesting. You got to see a couple more things show up here. I don't know what I'm thinking, but like I said, I'm a sucker for a good deal, especially if it's something that I want and don't have. So I could take this to the scrapyard and make my money back, I would say. So I'm not out much, is what I'm saying. Even though, you know, like I said, looks like garbage, don't worry about it. Doesn't affect you. So where do we stand? Well, you keep watching the videos and leaving the comments and doing all the things, and I'll keep dragging stuff in here and doing the thing that way. So until next time, friends, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. After watching what you just saw, do you feel like your IQ has dropped lower than your credit score? Well, there's no reason that both of us should be miserable, so go ahead and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. That stuff costs you nothing, and it really helps me out. Your banker may not approve, but I know mine will. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.